Well, we had the live yesterday, and I think it went reasonably well. As I set about to get today's episode ready, I felt a bit dull. I don't know where the day went, but I got her done, and here we are, beachy background and all. Hope you like today's episode. Here we go. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for August 14th. August 14th is the 226th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 227th in leap years, with 139 days remaining to the end of the year. Today happens to be World Calligraphy Day. World Calligraphy Day falls on the second Wednesday of August, and so it is today, August 14th, the second Wednesday in August 2024. The word calligraphy means beautiful writing, and it is. Happy World Calligraphy Day. Today's word is a phrase or an idiom, and it's hell-bent for leather. The term hell-bent refers to a state of being extremely determined to do something without considering the risks or possible dangerous results, like an individual who's hell-bent on revenge. The leather part comes in reference to riding a horse, the saddle being the leather. So, hell-bent for leather means to ride very quickly or as quickly as possible, although it's probably more often used to mean moving recklessly fast or recklessly determined. Markedly determined recklessness, great speed or lack of restraint, at full tilt. A similar expression is hell for leather, which means essentially the same thing. I imagine the phrase may have been used earlier, but the first documented use of the phrase hell-bent for leather is in an 1889 story by Rudyard Kipling, The Valley of the Shadow. Hell-bent for leather. Today's word, or phrase actually, was requested by YouTube viewer Jeff Gavin. Thanks, Jeff. And if you have a word you'd like us to examine in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll get it on the list and take a look at it. And with that, on August 14th in the year 1040, King Duncan I went to battle against his first cousin, Macbeth. Macbeth prevailed, and Duncan perished on this day at the age of 38. Macbeth then succeeded Duncan as the King of Scotland. There are several fictional accounts of Duncan I and Macbeth out there, not the least of which being Shakespeare's play Macbeth. It's a popular motif because their story is a compelling inspiration for fiction. Duncan I was said to have been chronically ill with some sort of disorder and had been given the nickname that meant the diseased or the sick. But this is the day that he perished at Macbeth's hand. The Oregon Territory was organized by an act of Congress on August 14, 1848. This territory will later be divided up into the states of Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and parts of Wyoming and Montana. This is the birthday of David Crosby, born David Van Cortlandt Crosby on August 14, 1941 in Los Angeles, California. He got involved in music in his late teens, early 20s, co-founded the Byrds in 1964, Crosby, Stills and Nash in 1968, Neil Young joined the group in 1969. All three groups, the Byrds, Crosby, Stills and Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, were, are, and forever will be notable for amazing harmonies. David Crosby fell in love with sailing when he was 11 and bought a schooner named Mayan in 1967. He sailed thousands of miles on Mayan and lived on the ship for a while, was inspired to write the songs Wooden Ships, Carry Me, and Lee Shore while aboard, just to name a few. He sold Mayan in 2014 after owning her for 46 years. Wow, if those walls could talk. Through dozens of albums and even more singles, David Crosby was involved in making music that influenced and shaped a generation. He experienced problems with drugs and alcohol, got into some legal trouble, He did some prison time along the way for one thing or another, underwent a liver transplant, had type 2 diabetes, and some other health issues. But for all that, David Crosby was nothing if not resilient. He was active right up to the end. David Crosby passed away in January of 2023 at the age of 81. David Crosby. And we have a playlist of episodes for this day in history, as well as a playlist of single subjects called How About That? And words of the day in a playlist called There's a Word for That, and I'll leave links to those playlists for you. David Crosby was a fairly prolific songwriter, so it was hard to choose just one song, but today we're going to go with his song Hero, co-written with Phil Collins, who also sings backup, plays several backing instruments, and produced the song. Hero was released as a single in 1993 and also appears on David Crosby's 1993 album, Thousand Roads. It's a lovely song. Hero by David Crosby. Link in the description. Alrighty, this is where the outtakes go, and oh, they sure will. I got to tell you, Ripley the Wonder Dog wonders why we don't go outside. Every time I move, like I'm getting out of my chair, she runs over to see if we're Goingoutside yet. She's a pretty smart little doggy. It's 100 degrees out there for real. Alrighty. Wait a minute. I want to do that without the audio. Okay, what's this? And with that, on August 14th in the year 1040, King Duncan went to live. Well, I guess he sort of did. He went to live with the ghosts. That's what he did. Yeah. And with that, underwent a liver transplant. It helps if you resume the video when you're done pausing. All right, let's try it again. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.